Hey, welcome back to walleyworkshop.com. Today we're going to be mounting my Lowrance HDS10 and 8 on the dashboard. And also, we went ahead and run the transducer cables already here. Very important part of making your units work properly is the height on your transom here. So we're going to show you all that, and let's get started. Okay, here's the two transducers. This is the structure scan, and this is your normal skimmer. Pretty standard for a normal unit. When you mount these, this is the structure scan. You want this on the lower end of the skimmer. You don't want them this way. You want them this way. Now, this transducer for the structure scan doesn't require to be down in the water like the skimmer does. So that can be mounted up a little bit higher. This is not a high-speed skimmer transducer. Ideal speed for the structure scan is about 3 to 4 miles an hour, optima reading on your structure scan. So I'm going to go ahead and mount these things, show you where I'm going to position them, but remember, this goes on the lower end of it because of the angle and the cone. You don't want it up here and the cone is going to hit your skimmer transducer, so you put it this way. Okay, I've got the skimmer transducer mounted here. This particular spot that I've chosen here, normally you would use a straight edge like this on the bottom of the boat, but in this area that's open here on the trailer with the two bunks, it's very difficult to do that. But the reason I have it up here is because I have a rib running right up the length of the boat there, so I have to move it over here. Obviously there's no rib here because the boat sits flat on the bunk, so that's where I'm going to put it, right here. There is adjustment on this transducer, so what I'm going to do is pretty much eye this thing, and I'm going to put it about 1/4 to 1/8 inch. I'm going to start with 1/8 inch though, and do a test on the water application. And actually you can leave these not so tight, the screws, and you can actually just kind of tap that down if you need to adjust that on the water. Once you pull your boat out, tighten those screws up, and then you're good to go for the rest of the year. Okay, this is the structure scan transducer. I'm going to position this just above the bottom of the boat here. I can kind of just do that with the straight edge. Perfect right there. I'll go ahead and drill my holes right there and get this thing screwed in. Okay, for the structure scan transducer here, a level is a good little thing to have here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to level this to the boat. So I'm going to put this on the transom, and it's about 1/4 bubble off. If we were in my shop, my boat would sit level because my floors are level, Scott's aren't level. But we're going to set that the same. It's about 1/4 there. About 1/4 there. Okay, we have both our transducers positioned here. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up, the screws. Make sure they're nice and snug. And again, this one here, I'm not going to snug as tight. I'm just going to back it off a little bit so I can adjust this on the water. And then we're going to dress up these wires going up here with some zip ties, and then we're going to go up to the front there of the dash and mount our serious weather marine receiver here. And that's where a lot of things get complicated up there with wiring. We're going to show you how to hook this into the boxes and all that good stuff, so let's get up there. Okay, we went ahead and ran some wires here. This is the structure scan link from Lowrance. This is where your power goes into to power this unit. Also your sonar, which is the bigger transducer on the back of the boat, not your normal puck that goes in here. And then to go to the unit is an Ethernet cable, they call it. And that goes up through here. I can show you that in a minute. Okay, also we're going to be mounting the Sirius Marine Weather, and this is actually an overlay on my graph on my dashboard, so it's actual Doppler radar. So that's really, really convenient when you're fishing the Great Lakes or any place wide open. This is the interface modular right here. It's kind of like a little phone jack plug in here, and that's where the receiver plugs into. This is the Ethernet cable, and this needs power, so this will be the power cable going under here. Okay, this is the sonar to the structure scan, the bigger transducer back there. I'll go ahead and hook up my power cable right here. And then this is the Ethernet cable to my unit on the dashboard. And that took a whole like 5 seconds to hook up. So that's all there is to it. Okay, we went ahead and ran the wire for the antenna to connect into the interface modular here. So we'll go ahead and do that. It's got a little case here, open it up, and this is very similar to a telephone jack or a computer jack. Just clip it right in there like that. Close that up. And make sure you mount, there's two little screw holes here to mount the two little ears. Make sure you mount that up a little higher because this is not a sealed compartment, so keep it up out of the water. You know, I'll mount it back in here someplace. So that's all there is to it. Okay, we've got everything else tidied up in here, and the last thing to do is mount the Sirius marine weather antenna here. And I don't like drilling holes in my boat, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put silicone on here and smash it down like that. Put a book on it overnight, it'll be fine. So that's all there is to it. All right, we went ahead and pulled our transducer cables and plus a little string like we always do for future things we have to pull through there. It makes our job a lot easier on the road. I'm going to mount this HDS10 and the HDS8 on the dashboard. In order to do that with this particular dashboard on the Lund Pro V, we need to use these ram mounts to move them out a little bit further. And these are heavy duty ram mounts, so it's going to withstand these bigger units nowadays. They're a lot heavier. So I'm going to go ahead and put both of these up here and make sure everything's nice and square. And I got my line of vision here still. So let's go ahead and get started with that. All right, we have our transducer cables pulled, the structure scan cable pulled, all the power cords hooked up in the Lund boat here. This is an HDS8, HDS10 with two ram mounts to adjust them properly so we can see the line of vision here across the front of the boat and our gauges here. So what an awesome setup here. I mean, this is going to be just like watching TV right here in the bottom of the lake. So I'm really excited about getting these on the water. All right, thanks for watching Walleye Workshop this week. And next week we got some really cool stuff coming up. I'm anxious to get these bad boys out in the water. So stay tuned next week. We'll see you then at walleyeworkshop.com. Thanks for watching.